Before you begin to worry about why she hasn't reached out, even though you feel certain she likes you, you must confront a harder question. Are you in order? Not just tidy on the outside, but truly aligned within. Because when your life is disorganized, when your emotions are unstable and your goals undefined, you become difficult to connect with. Attraction may bring someone's attention toward you momentarily, but it doesn't make them stay. What makes someone stay is structure, internal strength, purpose, stability. You must be the kind of person who radiates order, who stands with clarity. If your mind is clouded with confusion and self-doubt, no one, no matter how much they like you, will feel safe investing in you. People don't pursue chaos, they are repelled by it. Even if they don't realize it consciously, ordering your life doesn't mean becoming robotic or emotionless. It means putting things in their proper place. Your habits, your discipline, your thoughts. When your mornings are wasted, your routines are absent, your ambition is asleep, you don't project confidence, you project uncertainty. And uncertainty rarely attracts sustained interest. The silence you're experiencing from her may not be about her feelings toward you. It may be about her intuitive sense that you don't yet know what to do with your life. No one is looking for someone to carry emotionally or spiritually. People are seeking those who can shoulder part of the weight of life. If you can't even carry your own, how can you expect her to trust you with anything more? You must treat your own development with the same seriousness you wish others would treat your value. Every day you skip the gym, procrastinate on your work, or avoid facing your fears, you are quietly reinforcing the reasons someone else hesitates to step deeper into your world. The harsh truth is that people, especially those who have high value themselves, don't invest in potential alone. They invest in what is demonstrated through action, not just words. If she sees you as inconsistent, unsure of yourself, or emotionally reactive, she may like you, but she won't move toward you. She won't chase someone who isn't leading his own life. She's waiting, perhaps even hoping you'll rise. But she's not going to do the rising for you. Order is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing every day to align yourself with what is meaningful instead of what is convenient. The modern world bombards us with distractions, instant gratification, and excuses. If you surrender to those impulses, you become a slave to them, and slaves don't lead, they follow. She may sense that you're still stuck in patterns of avoidance or self-pity, and though she might empathize, that doesn't mean she will attach herself to you. No one wants to build a life on a foundation they can't trust. And that's what you're asking her to do when you ask why she's not calling, yet you haven't even cleaned up the mess that is your daily existence. Start by cleaning your room, literally and metaphorically. Clean your space, structure your time, define your values, and act accordingly. Show yourself and others that you are capable of discipline. When you respect yourself enough to live with order, others notice, even without you saying a word. Your presence becomes calmer, your voice steadier, your eyes clearer. These things speak louder than any text message or Instagram post ever could. If she liked you before, she will respect you now. And if respect begins to grow, so too will her desire to engage. But she can't engage with a man who doesn't yet know how to engage with himself. This is not just about romance. This is about becoming someone worthy of partnership, true partnership, the kind where two people build something together, not lean on each other out of insecurity. When you're ordered, you are you don't chase, you attract. You don't cling, you choose. You don't panic, you prepare. She may not call because she doesn't yet see that stability in you. And instead of blaming her, or the culture, or the mystery of attraction, You must look in the mirror and ask, am I a man worth trusting? Would I follow someone like me if roles were reversed? So take responsibility. Take radical personal ownership of your time, your body, your mindset. If your finances are a mess, clean them up. If your health is declining, get it in order. If your thoughts are chaotic, start journaling, meditating, reading, doing the hard internal labor most people run from. Because the greatest irony is that when you finally begin to fix yourself, the world around you changes. People notice, including her. You may not even need her to call at that point. You might outgrow the need entirely, not because you've become complete. And when completeness meets attraction, the result is not desperation, it's mutual, powerful connection. Attraction is real, and yes, it matters. But attraction alone is not enough. When someone likes you, when they smile at you, when they respond to your presence, or show signs of interest, that's not a green light to assume they owe you anything. It's not permission to stop putting in effort, to stop showing up as a man with direction. Too many people confuse emotional signals for guarantees. A glance, a laugh, a soft compliment. These are indicators, not outcomes. Attraction is simply an opening. What you do with it determines what comes next. You don't win someone's attention by being liked once. You win it by being someone who continues to earn respect and inspire interest through action, not entitlement. The problem is that many people fall in love with the idea of being liked and then assume the work is done. But the truth is, no one falls in love based solely on initial chemistry. What they fall in love with is who you become after the signal. Attraction starts the conversation, it does not carry it. If she liked you yesterday and hasn't messaged you today, don't treat that as rejection. Treat it as a test of your consistency. Will you maintain who you are, or will you retreat into overthinking, emotional dependence, or passivity? Attraction is fragile when it isn't grounded in maturity. It can vanish the moment someone senses you're relying on their approval for your sense of identity. You must understand that attraction is not a strategy to rely on. It's a spark that needs fuel. If someone likes you, great. But what then? Do you panic and analyze every move? Do you sit back and wait, assuming the connection should sustain itself? Or do you continue showing up in your purpose, building your world, inviting others into it, rather than chasing them for validation? Too many men believe that if a woman shows interest, it's now her move. That belief is lazy, passive, and deeply misguided. If you've been given a signal, it's your job to interpret it wisely and act in a way that reflects strength, not hesitation or dependence. One reason she may not contact you, even if she likes you, is because she senses that you're already too focused on needing her to validate your worth. When you treat attraction as the finish line, it becomes heavy. People don't want to carry your emotional hopes on their back after just one moment of chemistry. That's a burden, not a relationship. If she liked you, she noticed something in you. But what happens if the next thing she sees is insecurity, self-doubt, or emotional neediness masked as affection? The attraction may not vanish instantly, but it will become uncertain. And uncertainty in early stages is often enough to cause distance. So what should you do? You should internalize that attraction is your opportunity to build, not your excuse to relax. Just as a seed doesn't become a tree without constant care, attention, and structure, attraction doesn't grow into connection unless it's met with masculine presence, patience, and leadership. Leadership doesn't mean controlling her. It means leading yourself with enough discipline that she feels safe entering your world. Attraction says, maybe. Your actions answer, let's find out. And that's the mindset you need. Open, grounded, calm, not obsessive or impulsive. Every moment of silence from her is a moment to show how you handle uncertainty. If you crumble, you confirm her doubts. If you stay solid, you amplify her interest. The strongest men aren't those who attract the most attention. They're the ones who know what to do with it. They don't beg, they don't panic, and they certainly don't chase. They invite. They lead by example. They make it clear they are moving forward, with or without applause, because their direction isn't dependent on outside recognition. If she's interested and sees you maintaining your standard, she may step forward. If not, it's not your loss, it's clarity, and clarity is more valuable than false hope. Most people don't ghost you because they hate you. They simply sense that something is out of alignment. Your job is not to force alignment, but to become so centered that what aligns with you arrives naturally. Don't forget, she's not studying your face. Attraction may have gotten her attention, but now she's waiting to see who you become without hers. If you spiral, complain, or collapse under the pressure of the unknown, then you've mistaken a signal for a strategy. You thought being liked was enough. It isn't. Being liked is the start of a process that reveals character. It's your character, not your charm, that decides the outcome. Attraction without character is noise, but attraction paired with strength, that's signal turned into substance. And here's the final truth. You must get to a place where attraction doesn't shake you. Whether she calls or she doesn't, whether she steps closer or stays distant, you remain centered. Because when you no longer rely on attraction to feel valuable, you become the type of man who naturally attracts more, not because you chase it, but because you've become the kind of man who others feel pulled toward, not out of pity, not out of obligation, but because they respect what you represent. That kind of presence doesn't need to force connection. It simply creates it. There is something universally magnetic about strength. Not the loud, performative kind, but the quiet, grounded kind. When someone truly knows who they are and where they're going, people sense it. It creates a gravitational pull. And on the opposite side of that spectrum is desperation. Desperation is needy. It's chaotic. It feels like emotional weight that needs to be carried. When a person senses desperation in another, especially in early stages of connection, the natural instinct is to retreat. No one wants to be trapped in someone else's fragile self-worth. That's what desperation feels like. A trap waiting to close. You may think your constant messages and emotional expressions are showing interest, but often they're broadcasting uncertainty. She may genuinely like you. She may have even thought about you often. But if your energy feels like it needs her to complete you, she'll hesitate. People are not looking for someone to fix. They're looking for someone to build with. And if every interaction you have with her is laced with unspoken fear, anxiety, or insecurity, she may not have the language to explain it, but she'll feel it. The way you text, the way you wait for her reply, the tone of your voice, the shift in your energy when she delays. These things communicate your internal state more than your words ever could. Desperation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers in your silence, and she hears it. Strength, on the other hand, communicates confidence without the need for constant affirmation. It's the calm presence that says, "I'm good, regardless of outcome." It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care from a place of fullness, not from a wound. The strongest people are not the coldest. They're the most centered. They're not chasing validation. They're living with purpose. They reach out because they want to, not because they're afraid of being alone. And that difference is everything. When you operate from strength, Your actions feel lighter. She doesn't feel pressured to respond. She doesn't feel like she's carrying the weight of your hopes with every interaction. There is nothing more repelling to a person, especially someone emotionally attuned, than being treated as the solution to someone else's emptiness. If you're using her attention as a substitute for your own growth, it's only a matter of time before she senses it. Even if she liked you before, even if the chemistry was real, desperation can override all of it. Not because she doesn't feel anything, but because she instinctively knows something's off. You're asking for more than just connection. You're asking for emotional rescue. And no one, no matter how kind or attracted they are, wants to be someone's emotional paramedic. If she hasn't contacted you, don't assume that means you need to push harder. More attention won't win someone back who's already uncertain. In fact, more often than not, it confirms their doubts. You don't need to chase her. You need to return to yourself. You need to get back to your center, rebuild your routine, reconnect with your mission. That's how strength is cultivated, day by day, brick by brick. When you're in your strength, you communicate differently. Your messages don't feel like hooks. Your presence doesn't feel like pressure. She may even feel the shift without you saying a word. People always notice the difference between someone who needs them and someone who chooses them. Choosing someone from strength means you're already whole. You're not coming to her looking for healing, for direction, or for identity. You're bringing those things with you. You've earned them. You've fought for them. And in doing so, you become a partner, not a patient. Desperation feels like a request to be saved. Strength feels like an invitation to build. When you stand in your strength, she doesn't feel trapped. She feels inspired. She sees you as someone who doesn't just want love, but someone who can hold it, lead it, protect it. That's rare. And what's rare becomes valuable. Too many people ask, why won't she call me if she likes me? But the better question is, am I the kind of man someone would want to reach for? If the answer is no, then your work isn't to chase her, it's to strengthen yourself. Go to the gym. Build your skill set. Clean your space. Master your time. Learn to be alone without being lonely. That is not cold. That is mature. Because in doing so, you don't become bitter, you become better. And when you're better, when you're stronger, you won't worry as much about who isn't calling, because your value won't depend on who notices it. It will speak for itself. The truth is simple but hard. People follow strength. Not arrogance, not dominance, real strength. The kind that says, I'm here, I'm grounded, and I'm not waiting to be saved. That's the energy that attracts not just attention, but respect. And when respect is present, connection is possible. So if she liked you but stepped back, don't respond with panic. Respond with power. Respond by becoming more of the man you were meant to be. And if she returns, let it be because she felt your strength, not your desperation. That's how real bonds are built. And that's how you win not just the girl, but your life back. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships, especially in the early stages, is seeking validation instead of seeking meaning. You think her reply, her attention, her compliment will make you feel whole. You believe that if she just texts you, calls you, confirms she likes you, then suddenly everything inside you will feel calm. But the truth is, even if she did reach out, it wouldn't last. That high you're chasing is temporary, and it's dangerous. Because when your sense of identity relies on external affirmation, you hand over control of your life. You become a prisoner of other people's reactions. That's not connection. That's dependency, wearing a mask. Responsibility, on the other hand, is what actually builds you. It's what creates a foundation strong enough to hold a meaningful connection when it finally arrives. When you take full ownership of your life, your thoughts, your time, your reactions, you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you from your insecurities. You stop thinking that one person's approval will fix the years of internal disorganization you've ignored. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're never uncertain or afraid. It means you face those fears head on and you work through them rather than outsourcing them to someone else. You stop asking people to complete you, you start completing yourself, one choice at a time. If she really likes you and still isn't reaching out, that's a moment for responsibility, not resentment. That silence is a mirror. What do you see in it? Do you see rejection or do you see opportunity? Most people rush to blame, to overthink, to spiral. But responsibility pauses and reflects. It asks, what can I do with this? How can I grow from this? What lesson is embedded in this discomfort? That's the mindset of a man who will be ready when the real connection arrives. Because he's not waiting to be validated, he's preparing to give something meaningful. Not just affection, not just attraction, but purpose, leadership, and stability. Validation may feel good in the moment, but it doesn't build anything that lasts. It's like sugar. It gives you energy for a second, but it crashes fast. What sustains you is knowing you're living right, knowing you're acting in alignment with your values. That's where meaning lives. That's where peace begins. When you do the right thing, when you rise to your responsibilities, show up for your work, protect your standards, you don't need anyone to tell you you're valuable. You know it. And when someone enters your life, they'll feel it too. They won't have to validate you because you won't be asking them to. You'll already be standing firm. A meaningful life is not built by waiting for others to approve of your progress. It's built by waking up every day and choosing discipline, choosing integrity, choosing forward movement. You don't need to wait for her to text you to start becoming the man you were meant to be. You don't need her to like your posts, answer your calls, or reply quickly for your life to matter. The moment you accept that your path is yours to walk, with or without applause, you stop chasing shadows. You start becoming real. And real men don't wait around to be chosen. They choose themselves every single day. You can't build a strong relationship on the back of weak character. If you're constantly looking to her to soothe your anxiety, to tell you you're enough, to confirm you're still worthy, the relationship, if it even begins, will collapse under that pressure. People can love you, but they can't carry the weight of your unprocessed wounds forever. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And if you want something real, something that lasts, you need to take it seriously. Not just for her, but for yourself, because when you become responsible for your own growth, you become free. And only free people can love without fear. So maybe she hasn't contacted you because deep down, she doesn't want to be the one holding up your sense of self. Maybe she's waiting to see if you rise on your own. And maybe that's not a rejection, it's a challenge. A sacred one. Not from her, but from life, from reality, from your future self calling you forward. And if you can hear that call and answer it, you'll stop needing her to call at all. Because your energy will change, your direction will sharpen, your presence will become weighty and real. And ironically, that's when the world responds. Not because you chased it, but because you embodied something worth noticing. Responsibility is not a burden, it's a blessing. It's the moment you stop drifting and start deciding. It's the transition from waiting to creating. The shift from hoping someone will choose you to becoming someone who has already chosen himself. When you carry that energy, when you lead yourself with that kind of seriousness, everything else falls into place. Whether she reaches out or not becomes less important because you're no longer living for someone else's confirmation. You're living for your own legacy. That's where meaning lives. That's where peace begins. That's where love, real love, has a chance to grow.